Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. My name is Hank. With me on this spooky Halloween episode is Ben.
Boo. Yeah. So you shouldn't have let me watch one of these films. But that's because I found it not great. Yeah. Oh, we're talking about films, by the way.
Yeah, we did what we did. We're doing 2 horror movies. And this year I picked one I hadn't seen. And then Ben
Swapped between like 18 films before
picked
panicking.
one
And
he hadn't seen, but that I had seen.
But you saw it recently.
Slightly before he picked it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're at a weird...
And I was like, this one was
This
fine
Halloween
for you.
this year we're at a weird crux, dude. Like, first off, I'm trying to expand my horror stuff a little bit, and at the same time, I've also for the past Halloween stuff, I have brought every film I know to the table, so now I don't have anything new to contribute. Maybe I'll watch more of over the course of the next year so I can have something. But yeah.
Sure.
So
My movie that I picked for this podcast episode was Near Dark from 1987, directed by Kathryn Bigelow. I've seen plenty of Kathryn Bigelow's movies, but I hadn't seen this one. It's a vampire western.
yeah. And I eventually chose Malignant 2021 film.
This year.
Yeah. Which before knowing it was a horror movie, I saw the poster and I was like, this is a good poster. Very red, black, kind of minimal, not a lot of crazy shit going on. It looks neat. And then someone's like, oh, it's horror. I'm like, okay, never mind.
Which movie do you want to talk about first?
I guess Malignant.
Okay.
So I didn't know what to expect. Some people had told me previously that it was like one I should avoid, but it actually didn't hit like any of my
Yeah.
box cutter down
I
wrist.
watched it and went, this doesn't actually hit
like,
Ben's things.
unless Ben has a fear of stuff exploding out of the back of
Yeah.
his skull.
Yeah, with you being like more clear about stuff recently, I'm like, this would be fine for you, honestly.
I love how
Because
we're
honestly, the thing about this movie is it's hilarious.
yeah, I mean, I love how we're over time just narrowing down, like, is it just box cutters? No. Okay, it's the slitty stuff. But if it's vertical and doesn't get to the wrist and it's just on the forearm, that's okay. Barber's razors, totally fine. Sweeney Todd is a great film. I need a more elegant tool. But I think if I watch this film again ever, I will enjoy it.
Sure.
I was just it didn't hit my expectations. Definitely it got some chuckles out of me because some of the like, does it know it's like a B movie?
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
okay.
that chair throw. The chair throw.
I mean, so much of it, like the line about sidekicks. God, what was I can't even remember the. I can't even remember the line.
Dude, this movie is funny. This movie's just funny.
Yeah, I think
it only pretends to be like an actual horror movie for like 15 minutes, and then it's like just starts getting sillier and sillier to like the point when you get the full on like the cop is chasing the villain. And the villain is fucking waddling around all weird. It's just like, I'm just dying. I'm laughing.
Yeah, I guess that like just disconnect. I thought it was supposed to be like I don't know, like the Vitch or whatever, you know, like an actual attempt. Or maybe it's just because, like, maybe it's one of those things where, like, I don't have enough horror under my belt, so I was like, is this what horror is? Not
kind
that
of,
bad.
yeah. You're not.
I know.
See,
like,
then this is why horror is not that bad.
I know
that because I'm with you, Ben, as someone who was too scared for horror for a long time, and then I realized a lot of times horror is this.
Like,
And
I don't mind like the silly horror. I just don't like something like Saw, right? At least the first couple of them. It seems like they took themselves seriously. And it's just a gore fest. And I'm like, nah. I don't know.
The first one's not a gore fest.
The first one
doesn't have that much gore.
The first one's not a gore fest. Fine. The only one I've seen.
The second one is more like annoying people screaming fest.
Oh, okay, so it's actually a horror film. It's actually the worst horror film.
I just think that movie's annoying.
Yeah. But
and then the third movie is a sick dude in a bed for a lot of it. And then they start getting crazy. But like, those movies are primarily lore porn. They're about giving you ridiculous lore dumps at the end of the movie. It's all about how it ties into the other movies. That's what those movies are about.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just like, I guess maybe Malignant. My problem was that it felt like it had a AAA budget with like a C plot.
It only cost $40 million, which is not.
I mean, it
super high.
It felt good.
Yeah, well, it's directed by the director of Aquaman, so you know.
Ugh.
James Wan. He's a great director. He also directed.
Okay, actually, you know what?
Furious 7.
It's not James Wan. James Wan's fault. Let's look at who did the screenplay. This person seems like they've done nothing else. Oh, co-producer. Okay, Luke Cage, Jupiter's Legacy. Okay, none of these mean anything to me. It's their fault. Such a silly plot. It really just kept going.
Uh-huh. That's what's fun about it. It's ridiculous.
And
like you can tell, like these are TV credits, and you could tell, like, because this movie like just turns into a cop show at a certain point.
Yeah.
Except it's also has this ridiculous villain.
I really thought they were gonna do like a. I just really thought it was gonna be more grounded, right? Like, obviously in the first chunk, at the psych ward, they're like, you know, it's a little fucky.
When they're like doing Akira shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we also
dude starts talking through the radio. You're like, this is going to be a grounded movie.
Well, I guess I didn't like. Okay, not the fucking radio, but
they're
like,
not. Again, they're not. He's not like hiding it up front. There's like there's a psychic, an evil psychic kid.
I thought, I was pretty sure that eventually what it was gonna be was like someone else who was at the psych hospital and knew about her bullshit with like hearing voices, and now he's doing that. But then
are you just mad about being wrong?
No. When you're wrong all the time, every day, you stop being mad about it pretty quickly. It's just a state of existence. No, I just thought it was going to be something. And then, like, we get to the end, like, they're explaining everything. I'm like, okay, like, I did get more invested because it kept getting more and more goddamn ridiculous.
Because you say, like, there isn't that much writing in it. Like, there's not a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, it's not. There's not a crazy.
And then it gets pretty jokey in the middle.
Yeah, and I do like. Don't get me wrong. I like this sort of shit. I mean, you know, the fucked up parasitic twin. I mean, that's a dumb as hell concept, of course. But like, I love the look of it. Right? I love that sort of creature. Yeah. Weird horror shit, that's fine. Like Color Out of Space was cool. I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it was
See,
like
that movie I wasn't super into, but I just thought it was kind of boring.
yeah, that's fair. I expected it to be. See, I was expecting it to be more boring, like the story, like a real slow
Gotcha.
roll. Um, but I think I do think like some of my shit with Malignant is just like a lack of no like experience with the genre, and then like what I was expecting, and
Sure.
like how to wrap my head around it. But like,
I mean, I think it Malignant's gotten some mixed reviews. I think for those reasons, I just think that's wrong because I think this movie's just hilarious.
yeah, no,
It's just
like as a
hilarious. So
like
once you just like accept the movie for what it is, like it's just an entertaining good time. But it's also like not one you want to like tell someone beforehand, really, because so much of it is like the surprise is fun.
yeah,
Unless
yeah.
you're a person like you who gets all bent out of shape about what you thought the movie was gonna
Oh
be.
no, I'm not bent
That's-
out of shape about what I thought the movie was. I'm bent out of shape because I didn't get any fucking answers.
What do you mean?
Uh,
What answers do you need?
did we not learn? Did I miss where we learned how this fucking parasitic twin can like? Is he just psychic? Or is that like we don't? Did we learn how
Yeah,
he's
he's a little
controlling the right?
psychic.
Okay,
He's just a little
just
psychic.
fine, whatever.
Not like super
Oh,
psychic. He can
okay.
control the radio a little bit and make
Fine.
lights explode.
Fine.
That's
I
about
have
it.
my answers. They're bad answers. No, I mean that's
Oh,
obviously that was fine. Like I liked the.
He's less psychic than it seems like he is.
I
would
mean
say.
the fucking the end was great.
Yeah,
Her
the fact
just,
that it's like
trapping him in a fucking cage and she just
yeah,
closes her
well,
skull up. That's how.
yeah, closing her skull up is pretty. I mean, when he's walking around and her face is just on his back, that's so good.
No, that stuff is pretty good.
Also, like when you see him like walking around and like if you're looking closely, you can definitely tell that he's walking around backwards.
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's
that
just good.
that early, like the backward hands comment.
Yeah, because I didn't know. Like what I was thinking, like, is he like mostly made out of hair or something? Is that why he's so weird? Because they said when they say cut out the cancer, like was he was part of her, but now he's not.
Yeah.
And
It
then
took
like
me-
when I saw like a backwards arm, I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I'll admit it took me an embarrassingly long time to connect like her smashing or getting her head smashed against the wall.
Uh-huh.
So,
The inciting incident.
dude, I was, you know what? When I started this film and we're just sitting with her piece of shit whoever he is, like boyfriend, husband, fiance, whatever. I was not in the mood. I was like, I'm giving this film 20 fucking minutes, and if this guy isn't dead, I'm bailing. Just not in the mood to see that shit. And then he died, and I'm like, good. We may
murdered the shit out
continue.
of him.
Speak your piece.
Look, he was there to get murdered.
I want him to get murdered harder. I was hoping for like a little glass under the feet, fingernails getting ripped off sort of deal.
Oh,
But
so you want? I mean,
look,
if you want to go down that route, there are different other
that-
movies we could watch.
it needs to be. I don't just want to see it though. That girl in Gangs of London did nothing. I mean, you know, like it was a little much. This guy deserves it. Incredibly low tolerance. Well, not low tolerance for seeing, but like that shit infuriates me. I was ready. I was ready for him to get fucked up.
Hell yeah! I like that shot early on of like above the house, when it's like down on her, because when she's like running away from it after it's killed in that early part. Just the way that the camera moves.
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah.
That's just
There were
great shot.
There were quite a few shots that I liked. They did some
Yeah,
interesting.
That's like James Wan is good.
The
that's why like this stupid plot gets elevated because he's such a good director.
yeah, the shots, and then I also noticed like the music bumped. There was fucking they crushed it on that front. Yeah, I also really liked the bits with, I don't even know what to call it, where like stuff around her is like deteriorating, like when she goes inside her mind or something a little bit, where like the world falls apart around her and like the stuff starts getting all distorted and shit. I like that. It was
she goes to, like,
it was cool. The Shadow Realm or whatever.
Silent Hill world or whatever.
Yeah.
But like she's not actually the reveal is that like that's the illusion of that's in her mind has been created by is like falling away, and she's seeing where it's like she actually is.
So wait,
because that's what at the end that's the
they say like he's been making an illusion that she's living her life normally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whenever those scenes happen, it's because he's somewhere killing someone. So all the stuff that's like the place she is that's melting is the illusion she was in, is like breaking down.
Okay. Oh, I got you. Okay, that's not like that's not too far off from what I was interpreting it as.
Yeah.
Just worded in a way that missed me, I guess.
It's not like and it's not what they like talk about it as being like them psychically linked or something.
Yeah.
They're brain linked because they have the same brain.
Yeah. Man, I can't get over like the fucking corny as shit ending. It's like, no, you don't control me anymore. Closes the jail cell. Like
my joke about
so
that
dumb.
jail cell thing is like, oh, it's Naruto. Because literally Naruto has his demon fox behind prison bars like that in his brain.
Ugh. Well, now I'm never watching this film again. Someone rolls up to me and they're like, Ben, do you want to watch Malignant? And I'll be like, do I look like a fucking weeb? No, I'm not watching Naruto. But no, like I said at the beginning, I think if I go back to this film someday, it'll be a better ride.
Yeah. It's just fun. It's not like a great film.
Maybe
it's a fun time.
Maybe maybe I was disappointed because I fucking was mentally hyping myself up. That it was like, that's it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I watched it, I'm like, Ben, you'd be fine. Like, it wouldn't be an issue for you.
Dude, I was waiting.
Like, it has a big knife, but it's a big knife.
Big knife, fine. Big knife, totally fine. The smaller the knife, the worse it is.
God, when he fucking is like hanging off the fire escape, is climbing down.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. I was dying. It's so funny. And like seeing him, and he like falls, and he starts waddling down.
Yeah, it's just like shuffling. God.
Oh, Gabriel.
You know what?
Silly
The fact that his name is Gabriel, just like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the name itself. I apologize to any Gabriels out there, but like, just Gabriel, like Gabe. I don't know. It's like this demon monster that's like Akira bullshit. Like, what's up, Gabe?
Yeah, one of the Penny Arcade characters.
I don't think I'm too old for that. I don't think I'm too old for that, or too young for that reference, rather. I just don't think I read much of it. That's the Lost comic, right?
It's fine. What?
Did they do the Lost?
No.
No.
It's Control Delete.
Penny Arcade. I mean, if I saw it, I'd know it. God, you're so old.
I mean, they started PAX. Whatever. Don't worry about it.
I literally just read an article about PAX South dying, so it seems like
Nice.
a not notable thing to have done. Ignoring the other PAXs out there that are doing well.
Don't even worry about it.
Do I have anything else about Malignant?
Chair toss? A chair toss.
Chair toss, pretty good.
I put my hands up. Fucking touchdown.
The dialogue was just fucking. It hit a good level of corny.
Yeah.
Like it was
Once they
just
got
bad.
to jokes. Like the scenes of just like people interacting and making bad jokes. Shit was good. Hit the right level of being dumb.
It did. There was a bit where it made me realize that. I mean, I'd like to see this in a film, but I feel like there's no in between. It's either a concept that gets completely dropped to drive plot along a little bit, or it's like the point of the film and the person at the center is a god, where like the protagonist can adapt to social situations or just situations in general that involve communicating with people. Because when she was in prison in the cell, people are like, "Oh, it's country club," and they're all fucking coming on to her. You know what would have maybe like helped? Tell them that you're in there for like suspected murder, for suspected like what, double homicide and attempted homicide and shit. That might have helped. Nah, just let yourself get
There was
kicked.
Gabriel in control at that point, so.
When she was just sitting there, I didn't think he was. After they started beating on her, then he came out, right?
No,
maybe
because when we cut back to her, she's still just sitting there. Like, she goes in there and sits there before they interact with her at all. And Gabriel's the only one who they interact with, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I guess I thought I thought that switch just came after the beating. But yeah. See, now I gotta watch it again just to get the story straight. Oh, Gabe.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Film was fine.
I really like when they like show you the flashbacks of Gabriel on her back. That shit's good.
Yeah.
It's just like
I'm gonna wake him up now.
the plot line of like, oh, this is why you've been having all these miscarriages. Gabriel's been stealing
Just
all
absorbing their life force. Yeah.
Yeah, to make himself stronger. When they're watching the tapes, I like that her mom is fucking pissed. It's like, they told me you didn't have any family. Told me your mother was dead.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers.
Man. God. You know, it did make me realize that I would like to see the opposite of this. Where like I mean you could take it so many different ways, but I want the fucked up alien psychic parasitic twin on the back, except like it's a good person trying to convince the host to like do good shit. You know, because it's always why is it always cut her a slice of cake, and it's like you're actually stabbing your mom. Why is it never like help the old lady across the street? You know?
I mean, Onslaught had Professor X inside of him. Until
sounds like
Thor ripped Professor X out. And then Onslaught was like, I'm free! They became more powerful.
Naturally. Oh, I'm looking
There's
at
that episode of Batman where part of Clayface becomes a little girl that Robin falls in love with.
that
And it
sounds
gets reabsorbed back into
um,
Clayface.
That's a lot to take in.
It's a lot.
Man. I looked at I remember the line that I was like that had me fucking laughing. Well, I didn't remember it. I just saw the scene and the Wikipedia entry when they're doing like the hypnotist shit. And she starts like freaking out because she's remembering everything. And, and her sister's like, "Get her out, pull her out." Like she's in the fucking demon realm. Oh,
well, yeah, because like, the way this movie treats like grounded shit. It's like, yeah, psychics aren't real. Cops don't call psychics. You stupid. You person who worked on a fucking TV show once. Oh, let's call my hypnotist.
Yeah. No, that bit was
shit's
fucking
hilarious.
Great.
That's so good. It's like, no, that shit's dumb. But we are in a movie. Gabriel, he's the devil.
Yeah,
I don't know. This is such a good example of how like horror movies have to pretend to be scary, and sometimes they're ridiculous.
I mean, I'm totally down with like the ridiculous horror shit. That's what I live for. Which I mean, that seems like a good segue into
the cowboy vampires.
Into our like. Okay, I finished Malignant. I'm like, well, that was, a little lackluster. Whatever. We got like 30 seconds into Near Dark, and I'm like, this is a fucking film. Look at these cowboys.
Yeah.
I know why you picked it though. I assume at some point you just saw the scene of the kid being like, "My name is Homer." Homer. If you mispronounce it, it's good. You're gonna have a bad time. I'm like, shit. There it is.
I didn't know
Hank.
that was coming. I didn't know. I had no idea. I was looking at like lists. I think I was looking at lists of horror directors directed by women, and that or something. And I know it's Kathryn Bigelow, who I know is good. I was like, oh, Kathryn Bigelow directed a vampire movie I didn't know. Oh, it has fucking a bunch of actors who are in Aliens, because she was like with James Cameron at the time, so he just like imported a bunch of those actors.
That's wild.
Amazing. Yeah, Paxton, Goldstein, and Hendrickson, who are like the three of like the vampires, adult vampires besides the love interest.
Okay. Interesting.
The ridiculous ones.
Yeah.
They're all from Aliens. They're all in Aliens, rather.
Nice.
And they're all great.
I mean, yeah, no, dude, I
God, Bill Paxton is having so much fun. Holy shit.
No, I enjoyed this film. I wasn't a huge fan of the ending, but the ride was pretty great.
What, you don't like that? Oh, we found the cure for vampirism. Turns out it's blood. That one didn't work for you.
I mean, that's whatever. That's some OG Dracula shit. Got to do that transfusion.
It's true. Got to do a blood transfusion.
No, I mean, maybe it's just a difference in stuff. Like, I don't know if it would have been a type of ending that would be considered at the time, but I was like, maybe they become vampires and they just like go off together.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they turn her back into a filthy, dirty, impure human.
They both get both are reincarnated.
Well, I mean, the guy's dad turning him back, like,
yeah.
Man, Caleb was real focused on, like, maybe he'd never seen a vampire movie before. He didn't know the possibilities. But, like, he was real focused on the whole killing thing, and he was way less focused on the whole eternal life thing. Or, like, super strength and that sort of shit. Also,
Yeah.
also, like, shit. I mean, after they found out that the blood transfusion is all you need, you can leverage that shit. Just be a vampire for a little while. Amass your fortune, and then get the transfusion. What are you doing? You fucked up. It's just It's just that easy. They did it in a fucking barn.
True. They did do it in a fucking barn twice.
What the fuck did he say?
They also lucked out that like her blood type was compatible with her.
Yeah. And also the fact that he led you before the blood transfusion, the buildup was, hey, Dad, have you ever transfused a human? Have you done that operation on a human before?
Yeah, he saw all the bottles and shit. They had the stuff.
Oh, my God.
Bottles and tubes. That's all you need. For a full blood transfusion.
God. But it was so fucking, just what a good take on vampires, though. You know, I'm kind of
pretty good.
I think now there's plenty of examples of I was gonna say urban vampires, but I guess modern vampires. You know, 20th century, 21st century stuff going on, and we have tons of examples of old vampires. You know, oh, I'm gonna wear my fucking Victorian era robes and meander around my castle and that sort of shit. Where are the fucking cowboy vampires? Where are the vampires that fought for the Confederacy? They lost, by the way.
They did lose. Vampires who were just like a biker gang, but they don't have bikes because that's too scary.
Well, because
that's the only reason those characters don't have bikes.
No, it's because of the sun. Yeah.
They need, Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. They need their van that's protected from the light.
Though I guess
that's
in theory, they literally could just wear biker equipment and probably be fine.
Nah, they'd light on fire.
I thought they were
eventually what.
I guess, yeah.
It's like that last scene. She should be on fire too, based on the rules they've set up. She's really in the sun. I guess jeans are just really good at protecting you from the sun.
That's that cowboy vampire is all about that denim, baby.
A heavy blanket, no good. That just goes right up. Jeans, they can endure the heat. I don't know. That part was pretty ridiculous.
There's a fucking jeans commercial for you. All the other vampires lighting up and exploding, and the one in fucking denim is I don't even, what would the tagline even fucking be?
They're just lightly sizzling.
Yeah. Yeah, like a grill. Man.
God. Yeah, Lance Hendrickson is so good in this movie. Just being intimidating.
I find it interesting.
And being really intent and people having to murder people.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta prove you're part of the gang. Because otherwise you'll just draw attention to yourself. Can't have you out there being hungry. Oh, also I was pumped for this. I just noticed it on Wikipedia again. And I was as soon as I saw it, I was ready. That Tangerine Dream soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Great shit.
Yeah, when they walk into the bar, the music that kicks in there, that hit is so good.
Yeah. There's a couple of different riffs.
It's man, we are in the 80s. It is 1987 as hell in here.
Fuck yeah. Man. Even just right immediately in the beginning. All those cowboys talking. Just I don't even remember. Just the most ridiculous dialogue. That he rolls up to the chick and he's like, he says something like, I'm dying to do whatever. And she's like, dying? Like, this isn't a phrase that people have been using for ever.
Oh.
God. Just everything. I mean, the only bit where I was like, it kind of faded a little bit was when Homer brings back Caleb's sister unknowingly, but I'm like, I guess his goal was he wanted to turn someone so there'd be like another immortal child.
Uh-huh. Being an immortal child sounds bad. That sounds like a bad time.
I found it interesting because the only other thing I can think of that has like the eternal kid vampire sort of deal is Let the Right One In. Have you seen that? The Finnish.
Yeah, there are two. Yeah, there's Finnish one and then there's a remake.
Okay, there's the good one and the bad one. I say that.
There's also relevant to movies coming out or in theaters now. I don't remember. There's an Eternals comic where the Eternal, who's a kid, turns out to be bad because he's like stuck as a kid forever, so he doesn't want to be that.
Yeah,
that one was written by Neil Gaiman.
See, I find it like I think in Let the Right One In, isn't the vampire is a bit more of a kid, right? Like in mentality, like just always more of a kid because they never really grew up. And in here, it's like I'm 12, but also I'm gonna fucking light up a cigarette. So I don't know. I mean, I think both things are interesting. But the important part is that Homer showed him what family meant. Blam, 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 blam.
I do like vampires just shooting people.
Yeah, the fact that he was like popping shots. He like fired 6 rounds of that dude's back.
Yeah. Because like they kill people and then they drink their like the blood that's like spilling out. It just seems very inefficient at some point though. It's like you're just wasting so much blood. You're not drinking that much. Come on, getting 1 cup out of that guy. Or that girl?
Just letting the waitress like bleed into the cup a little bit.
Yeah, it's like wasteful.
Just wild. Whatever. I mean, this is the vampire shit we've been missing. Where are the vampires who are bad at being vampires? Yeah. And I mean, the fucking when they're in right at the end when
I love it. Just a quick detail.
Yeah.
The bartender with his shotgun, but it's not loaded, and it takes him so long to load it.
Dude, you literally slide 2 bullets in and put the barrel up. Guy has fucking butter fingers to the worst degree. What really would have made that is if they like had him just sweating buckets, like just drenched, and fucking. But no, he's just like totally calm, totally normal, just taking 1,000 years.
Gotta have that shit prepped. If that's.
Yeah, imagine if they were feeling a little more agile. You wouldn't have even gotten a shot.
They're so about killing everyone in that bar, and everyone in that bar is not running away.
Yeah, nobody's
until the one guy
anything.
Jumps out the window.
Yeah. That's like so late into it, though.
Yes. They're just scared. Scared stiff.
Fucking white people. I guess. I just love that they explode at the end.
It's very
like they
funny.
light on fire and then it's not even dissolving or like a little poof. It's just a full on like.
Yeah, love that. Love those practical explosions.
And then
when it hits the power line.
Yeah, and it's. In my head, I was like, I bet there's a non-zero chance that they actually fucked up the power line.
Yeah, I'm like, look at them. Like, I don't. I think that was an accident.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was like, It's like when we were watching House of Wax, and there's the fire in the beginning. I'm like, they probably, this is old enough. They probably just lit all that shit on fire without a second thought. Just fucking pour some gas and light her up. And here I'm like, yeah, they cut power to like 4 towns.
Like in high noon, the train is like giving out black smoke because the brakes gave out as it was approaching.
Hell yeah. But
a movie I want to do at some point, I don't know when, the French Connection, that has like one of the greatest car chases in, and they just fucking filmed it. They didn't tell anybody they were gonna do it.
Hell yeah.
And it's wild.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Just like, you can't do that anymore, and they shouldn't have done it, but it's amazing.
Yeah. Man. Jesse at the end of the film, when we get that nice close up of him in the car burning and he just mouths fun times. Fucking great. Like, they could continue being fun. I don't know why you're so set on fucking this kid up.
Look, the South lost the war, okay?
Yeah. There's a fucking reading for the film. God.
I like how fucking gross they are. They just have like burnt remains of their skin on them at all times. They like, just because they don't wash. They're so gross and like sweaty and wet.
I mean,
just like char.
Yeah, as
all
their
over them.
Shit heals.
Uh-huh.
But also they keep burning before it can heal, so it never gets better.
Look, tomorrow is another day.
Yeah. God. No, this is a film.
Yeah, this was a good time.
A fucking film.
Kathryn Bigelow. Oscar-winning director.
Oh, yeah.
She's good at making a movie.
Also, I love how we had that throwaway line about, like, the Great Chicago Fire.
Uh-huh. Man, vampires been around.
But it's not even that, like, that's not even that old. But maybe it was at the time. I don't know. Well, no, like, I don't know how vampires were portrayed in the late 80s, like up until that point in like media and stuff. But now when there's a vampire, they're like fucking like 300 years old as a baby, and then you meet the vampire that turned the 300-year-old guy, and he's like, yeah, I'm like 2,000 years old or whatever the fuck. They're old as shit.
The thing that hadn't been done before, I guess, was the Western vampire movie,
which is important, and it needs to come back.
They needed a vampire movie where the hero rides in on a horse.
Imagine. Just here. I have so many. If directors and screenplay writers and shit would just listen to our podcast, they would have so much free money from all of our 10 out of 10 ideas. Hear me out. Magnificent Seven, but it's vampires. It's just cowboy vampires.
Pretty good.
Better yet.
Pretty good.
Just do like the original, Seven Samurai, but vampire samurai. Just vampires all the way down.
Hell yeah.
They're saving the town, but also they need a little snack now and again.
The Seven Samurai, then those same people are the Magnificent Seven.
Fuck. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's fucking great. It's perfect. And you can even like change the lineup a little bit because like some of them have to die, right?
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be such a good shot. They win the day, but literally it's day, so they fucking burn. You could get emotional with it. You could do like a poignant samurai vampire film.
Hell yeah.
Oh man.
Uh,
That's so fucking good.
yeah, it's pretty great. But yeah, apparently when like Kathryn Bigelow was like literally just trying to make a western, but couldn't get funding for it, so they
She's
decided
like,
to
what
make
if?
it a vampire movie because vampires were hot for getting
Hell
funding.
yeah. Dude, I'm looking at her. Oh, okay. I was like, what has she done that was like that won awards? And I saw the Hurt Locker, but like
Yep. Uh-huh.
I haven't seen the Hurt Locker. I have no
Sure.
desire.
Point Break is the movie I would do next.
Point
We do
Break.
another one first. It's a Keanu Reeves.
I mean, that's all I
movie
need.
about
Oh,
about
Patrick's-
surfing people who heist.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. No, I'm 100% in. Go on.
Patrick Swayze is like leading this heist cult, and Keanu Reeves is the FBI agent who infiltrates them, but then
Fuck
starts
yeah.
to believe in him.
Amazing.
Point Break rules. Point Break is a great movie.
God.
I would definitely do that one first. I think out of all her movies is another one.
Is it a heist crew of surfing like they couldn't be vampires.
They're all
in the
about
day.
like the high of,
Surfing
high
into
stakes
a
shit.
bank?
So, like, yeah, the perfect wave.
riding a tsunami wave into the bank.
Point Break. It's about finding like the greatest wave ever.
I mean, yeah. So I'm curious now. I want to know. I think I'm imagining way more of a surf theme than the film's gonna have, and it'll disappoint me. Like I want them to roll into the bank, and it's like like the surfing theme.
Surfing is like the ultimate thing, but they're about like other high
So they're just adrenaline
like,
junkies.
daredevils. Yeah, adrenaline junkie stuff. Other adrenaline junkie stuff too, like jumping out of planes
I mean,
and robbing banks. Those two things.
I've been there.
They're the
I've been there.
ex-presidents because they wear masks of presidents. Classic stuff.
That just sounds like Payday with extra steps.
I mean, that's part of where Payday got it, so.
I think it's the other way around, my friend.
I mean, by the time traveling rules of Payday, probably. I'm sure Payday would get... I can't believe how stupid Payday lore is. Oh.
Yeah, shit really got off the rails after a
It
bit
went
there.
fucking wild. I cannot. But as we all know, that those movies are in the John Wick universe, not the Point Break universe. Those
Yeah,
two
true.
separate Keanu
True.
Reeves continuities.
I mean, until they're all brought together in a single
In the
continuum.
Keanu verse.
Yeah, I mean, we have the Vanessa Hudgens verse, and then
I mean,
eventually we'll
yeah.
have the Keanu verse.
I feel like using the Matrix as a point for that would not be difficult.
That's probably just what Matrix 4 is, honestly. I just want someone to
I mean, John Wick movies are basically Matrix movies, so that checks out.
I just want someone. This is like the shit I want to. I want someone to have the balls to do it. Just fucking do it. Just pull all of an actor's films, or reasonable films, I should say, into like a universe. Just fucking pull the trigger. See what happens. People love a connected a cinematic universe.
Yeah, there certainly aren't plenty of people who are like fucking sick of it.
Nah. There's people sick of comic book films. That's not gonna stop
Yeah.
them.
Uh-huh.
Shove it
It's
down
true.
our throats.
Uh-huh.
Actually, unironically, shove it down our throats, but have the balls to do the fun comic stuff.
True.
I'm sure.
That's my
Well, not even.
my argument. That's my argument. Like, they haven't even gotten to the good shit yet.
Well, so we had the two examples that I've seen personally from both sides would be Watchmen, of course, We don't get our giant alien squid hybrids. They didn't have the balls.
Oh, you still only watch the TV show.
I know. I still need to watch the TV show. But the other one was Sweet Tooth. They did not have, for such a weird, like, they wanted to keep like the human animal hybrid stuff, but they did not have the fucking balls to get into the ancient Inuit elder gods fucking over humanity for being shitbags. And instead they just went with evil scientist does science things.
Oh, that's less interesting.
It's 100% less interesting like that. The ancient elder gods being like, you guys fucked up the planet and then you fucked with our tomb. Fuck yourself. It's so much cooler. The people aren't ready, I guess.
People aren't ready.
Like
Sometimes it takes more than one time for them to get it right.
I guess.
Watchmen, it took the second time with the TV show. Judge Dredd, it took the second Dredd movie.
God, Dredd is so good.
Dredd is so good.
There's a film I should watch. You know what? That would have been a perfect film to bring up for like our movie nights, family movie night stuff. But yeah, no, it's disappointing for comic book films. I want the weird shit.
Sure.
Or I don't mind, like, I just want stuff that it can be in the same universe, like connect it later, but like maybe just make a standalone film. That's all I want. And that's all I fucking want. You can connect it later, but let me just watch the film on its own.
Make it the dumbest, most connected thing. That's all I want. I don't expect more from Marvel.
Well, now the film I really want.
Like, the thing is, like, just those movies are just generally, they're fine. But,
well, yeah, I know. But they could be fine and do a bunch of cool, weird shit.
I don't know. Like, if they were all terrible, I'd be mad, but I don't have, like, angst about, like, yeah, these movies are fine.
Yeah. Well, look, there's
Occasionally they do something that makes me, like, really like them.
There's one
adapting
superhero
shit I like.
One superhero film or franchise, TV series, video game, whatever.
Is it Venom?
You told me about Super Horse, and now I can't stop thinking about Super Horse.
Oh, Super Horse. You mean the horse that is Supergirl's boyfriend?
Oh, nice.
He turns into a human.
Okay, well.
He's like he transforms between being a super horse and being a human.
I'll put some money down that there's some unofficial comics where not all of him turns into a human.
Just telling you what the deal with Super Horse is.
Just a wild time. Anyway.
He has a cape. Horse with a cape.
Of course. Well, he wouldn't be fucking super without the cape.
It's true.
He would just be lame.
It's true. He would just be Mr. Ed.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know. Also, James Wan, good director. I like the Conjuring movies he directed. I should watch the Insidious movies. I haven't actually gotten around to those. I haven't watched Aquaman either.
Someday I'll fucking...
Or Furious 7.
I assume Furious 7 is just a Fast and Furious movie?
Yeah, it's the 7th Fast and Furious
I'm just
movie.
making sure. I don't know.
Fast 5, Furious 7.
Whatever. I haven't seen a single one of those films. Not even the first one.
Me either.
Fuck.
Guess
I feel like at some point we're gonna watch all of them. Yep.
Motherfucker. No.
You're the one who said you hadn't.
Podcast.
You hadn't. You're the one who said you hadn't seen any of them either. You could have.
God.
You could have just not.
God damn it.
There's so many things
God
I
damn
haven't
it.
seen. I haven't seen anything. Fuck.
I haven't seen any of the Buddies movies, the tie-ins to the Air Bud.
See, I've seen those. We don't need to watch them.
Franchise.
We're fine.
Okay, fine.
I've seen enough of
Did
them.
you
when
see
I
the
was
one where
little.
the dogs died in the making of it?
It would depend on which one it is. I would need a specific title.
I just know that the Halloween one has stuff that kind of references that, maybe. I don't know. I was listening to a podcast that was talking about it.
I would say there's like at least a 50% chance. I saw a bunch of those movies when I was little, but I think it was like I was just old enough to not dislike them, and my siblings were just younger than me, and they fucking loved them. So I was like, yeah, okay, and we'd watch them. But yeah, I guess we're fucking doing a. I don't even know. Is this gonna turn into like a Fast and Furious tournament? Are we doing a bracket, or are we just doing all of them? How many do we got? How many of these?
There are 9 out so far.
There's 9 out.
Well,
so
10
far.
technically, because I guess there's Hobbs and Shaw also. So if you do 10, that's a clean bracket.
Yeah, there you go.
Not clean. You're still. But whatever.
Fucking
whatever.
Or we just do one.
That's a 2022 podcast.
Hear me out.
Earliest,
Hear me out.
We have plans.
We do a podcast, and the podcast is a commentary of us watching every single film back to back in one sitting.
And yeah, I'm. Then I'm willing. God damn it! Why must you say these?
Wait,
things?
what the hell?
Are impossible.
What is this? What is this? Why? It's a series. I'm looking at the films, and it says runtime, and it's like 106 minutes, 130 minutes, 768 minutes, and I'm like, what the fuck? There's a series, I guess. Fast and Furious Spy Racers.
Great.
Hank and Ben are gonna learn what family is. Anyway. Horror films are okay. They're not nearly as spoopy as I thought, so. Yeah.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, though.
Not the ones I like, generally, also.
See, I mean, my only two things, like, specific...
Again, because I don't feel fear anymore. So.
Yeah, I mean, specific, like gore stuff aside.
Yeah.
Gore is a boring method of, like, scare, I guess, is the...
Scare. Yeah, but it can be fun. Gore is more about fun.
It can be
than
fun.
Scare.
But I'm saying, like,
yeah.
I think it's kind of dull. For example, Akira with just the weird fucking body shit and none of the other stuff. Why am I here? I don't care. But with all the other shit, yeah, that's fine. You can toss a bit of it in there.
Gore is fun.
And then anything
because it's fake. Fake violence is fun.
Like, jump scares are shit tier.
I mean, I agree with that.
I feel like that's a very common line of thought, but I just want it out there. Like, I don't
love loud noises.
It's not a scare; it's a startle.
Yeah.
Like, wow, shocking.
There's a while it felt like trailers were trying to perfect like the worst jump scare. It's just like they're just getting like here's the monster, but we're not gonna sting you, and then there's the monster, and now we're gonna sting you late. Like just like the worst. They're just getting worse and worse.
Yeah,
that was the meta.
No,
that was the jump scare meta for trailers.
I mean, stuff like conceptually, Color Out of Space, pretty good. Bird Box is still like so far my top tier. I don't necessarily like everything the film does. Like, I don't really care about the human antagonist bits, but like, as far as making, I want the horror to also make me think. You know, I want it to leave me, if not unsettled, at least being like, holy fuck. Something like that.
Why do you eat brains? It's to get rid of the feeling of being dead. Ease the pain of being dead. God, I love Return of the Living Dead.
That's the one we watched, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where the entire planet's fucked at the end.
Uh-huh.
I still need to have my dad watch that movie. He would love it. I don't know if he'd like the zombie bits, but he would love the fact that the ending is just like, nope, everyone's gonna die. It's helpless.
Total annihilation.
Yeah. Anyway.
We watched a movie that took place in Texas, and it was a good time.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween. Texas, the scariest place.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, though. It's so big.